Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So now we reach at the marking basis of PTE writing exam. Remember, one good student must prepare himself according to these criteria. And if somebody asks me that how I should, what skills I should have to take good score in the PTE writing exam, the first skill is known as the grammatic range, and accuracy. The grammatic range and accuracy means that a contestant must be solid on the use of tenses, irrespective of that I'm talking about the present tense and I'm talking about the past tense or I'm talking about the future tense. I'm talking about all of the three and all four conditions means a student must be able to demonstrate himself into the simple condition. He must be able to demonstrate in the continuous condition. He must be able to demonstrate in all the tenses in the perfect condition and in even the perfect continuous. So the first thing that examiner looks into and he marks a student upon in the writing exam, first thing is the grammatic range and accuracy. And in grammatic range, the first thing is the tenses. Number one. After this one, the second thing that matters a lot, it is your sentence structure. The sentence structure should be mix of, or rather, I should use a word that examiner sees that how strong you are in making the simple sentences, and then how strong you are in making the compound sentences, and then how strong you are in making the complex sentences. And what is the difference between compounding and complexing? I like tea and my colleague likes coffee, full stop, simple sentences. I like tea while my colleague likes coffee. It is a compound sentence. And I like tea while my colleague likes coffee because he does not like the taste of the tea. This turns into a complex sentence. So a person should be able to demonstrate in all three structures, but back at 50% in sentences maybe maybe the simple, it is acceptable for examiner, and 40% of the sentences may be the compound one, and 10% in sentences should be a mix of the complex sentences so that examiner could have all of the variety of the sentences in your specific writing. So compounding, complexing, simple sentences would all be the weapons of a student when he talks about taking good score in the writing exams. First criteria is with grammatic range and accuracy. The second thing is the third thing is the grammatic range and accuracy is your spelling. If we talk about the spellings, one must demonstrate the correct spelling of what he is writing. A correct spelling is not the bad of or incorrect spelling is not the problem of the students nowadays because they are, God forbid, weak in their vocabulary, but actually the Android phones have played a very important role. What that role is? That role is that when we type COMP, for an example, COMP, it gives us option. You want to write compilation, composition, competition, composing. So we just press the finger and last whole word is completed by the Android technology. So what happens now? First four digits or the first four alphabets of every specific word are very good in every person nowadays. But the last 4 or 5 alphabets are weak for the reason of the predictable text, which is available option in the Android phones. So spelling is the third thing. The second criteria on which examiner judges a person who is writing is the lexical resource. And this lexical resource in the common word is known as vocabulary. It never means that we should use some technical jargons in exam, but actually what happens? The vocabulary means a person must have a solid grip on the synonyms. Synonyms means the similar meaning word. If a person is not known to the synonyms and he will be repeating the same word again and again, he thinks that I have done everything wrong, but actually every third repetition drops his number by 1. Every third repetition of one word drops the number by 1. Every third repetition of one word will drop the number down. For example, if somebody is in habit to use furthermore, a third time he will add furthermore, and his the marks will come down by 1. So every third repetition every third repetition of one word will take one score down. So one must have the strong vocabulary of the synonyms. It is not the matter of increase. It is a matter of increase. It is a matter of incline, climb, rise, uprise, appreciation, mount. It is a matter of spike, surge. These all mean something is going up. So one should have a strong variety of the synonyms in the mind, either for the trends, either for the exemplifications, either for the variety of conjunctions, either the variety of complexing, compounding bridges. He must have a very strong vocabulary in a context of the synonyms. The second thing that one should be known to is after synonyms, it is the antonyms. It is the antonyms. So what are the antonyms? The opposite meaning word. And number three, the most important thing the student do not consider are the condition words. Condition words are the words which are only applied into a specific scenario. For an example, if we say that in my country, there is a trend of increase in the prices of goods and services, I can replace these whole 10 words. In my country, there is a trend of inflation. So one word inflation has replaced all 10 words. People say it is conciseness. It is not conciseness actually, but it is using one specific condition word that is going to explain the whole scenario. For an example, if I say it's like Siberia today, that means that the temperature has gone beyond the 0 degrees centigrade. If I say that it's raining like cats and dogs, that means that the water is everywhere. So I'm not to talk to about the roads are floody and the water is running on the streets and everybody is now poured in to the water. Only one word, cat and dogs, is enough to explain the condition that water is everywhere. So it is what the condition word means. The fluid that comes out of the mouth of an insect is known as, for an example, that is known as secretions. So what I mean to say is that one word can explain the whole situation if we are known to these certain condition words. So it is what known as the vocabulary. The third marking criteria in exam, we talk about this PTE writing, it is coherence. It is coherence and the cohesion. The coherence and the cohesion. The coherence means what? The word coherence means that the answer should be in the logical sequence. The answer should be in the logical sequence. What do you mean by the logical sequence? Logical sequence means that a student must introduce and then he should explain and then he should conclude. If the person is not introducing the topic well, he will not be able to explain the one and make the conclusion. So what's happening? People are taking the ready-made templates for the essays and the SWTs and the SSTs and right from dictation. So what is happening? They are not known to the basics of the logical sequence then. When they follow the patterns, what they see on the internet, what happens, logical sequence does not reflect in their write-up. If you talk about Zeeshan, I tell you, I always start essay with the introduction. I always start SWT with the name of the topic. I always start SST with the name of the lecture that I listen in the listening. So it is what an appropriate way. Start with introduction and then open the topic, explain it, and then conclude it. Okay, it is what known as the coherence. And the second criteria is, the cohesion means attaching facts and figures. Fact and figures with examples. If I talk about writing in the essay specifically, if I talk about the fact and figures, if I say somebody to please go to Saudi Arabia, when you will go to Saudi Arabia next time, use Emirates, the person will definitely ask me why. But if I say go to Saudi Arabia, buy Emirates because their ticket price for Saudi Arabia is very reasonable and their service is very outstanding and you will enjoy the journey, no person is not going to ask me why. Because I have completed not only what my idea is, I have given my impact of idea along with what I was saying. So one should try to write the idea in the writing exam in such a way where he could really attach his impact of idea along with what he is argumenting. So it will be the success. So cohesion means attaching facts and figures. For an example, if I say that in Pakistan, 1/3 of the population takes one meal every third day, the listeners will definitely ask me, are you mad? 1% of 33% people are taking a meal in Pakistan once in 3 days. How it is possible? But if I say that according to economic survey of Pakistan, if according to The Federal Bureau of Statistics, 36% Pakistanis are taking only one meal on every third day. No, nobody is going to ask me why, but the reason, because I have given two references in my write-up. Believe me, these templates are complete failures because of the same reason, because one template cannot be successful everywhere. I tell you a common error. When we talk about the essays, I talk about the four type of essays can appear in exam. The first type of essay is advantage, disadvantage. The second one is the agree or disagree. Third one is the problem and the fourth one is the opinion, normally that contains two arguments. Templates always start with one single sentence, the huge debate upon. And then the template people say that put the name of the topic over there. There's a huge debate upon. So what is happening now? 90% people who are appearing in exam, they are starting their essay with a single sentence. There is a huge debate upon, it is a huge debate among. Then if it is advantage, disadvantage essay, they write the topic of advantage, disadvantage in the second half of the sentence. Agree or disagree, they write the topic of agree, disagree here. Without considering that whether it is debatable or not. They write the opinion essays topic here at this place. Now, if you talk about the opinion essay where only one argument is given, this is a huge debate upon, is a very poor start of any essay. So what I'm saying, the templates are actually not going to give you a logical sequence of coherence. So if unluckily or unfortunately you get a topic that which cannot be fixed into a template, your whole effort is in no vain. So next one is the fourth one. The fourth criteria is the task response. The task response. Task response means that examiner would like to be specific. Be specific. Specific to the need. Examiner wants us to be specific to need. If examiner asks us to write an essay upon the computer advantages and disadvantages in the early age, that means he is going to ask us about the advantages to children. He is not going to ask us about the advantage to a person who is of 40 years, 50 years, 55 years. So what happens then? We get excited about the advantage of computer use. We ignore the children and we start writing that ease of hunting jobs. We write first advantage of early age use of computers, ease of hunting jobs. You tell me, ease of hunting jobs would be relevant with the children? Answer is no. So overexcitement and the lack of task response and specific to the need actually creates a situation where AI or the examiner thinks that the person is actually not known to what he has been asked by the examiner to work on. So it is what the fourth thing that is required in us to demonstrate an exam. Number 5, in PTE, the form would be very important. What do you mean by the form? Form means that if it is SWT, for an example, if it is SWT, we have to write 75 words maximum in SWT and there should be no full stop. There should be one full stop, rather good word is one full stop. One full stop. So that means that examiner is going to test your skill of compounding and complexing. If we go up in the criteria, I have written the sentence structure would matter a lot. To talk about the sentence structure, what I told you, you must be able to write the compound sentence and the complex sentences. And if you see the form means the formal structure, in SWT, you have to write 75 words only, and there should only be one full stop in the whole write-up. So if you put a second full stop, your marks come down to 0. And then there is another number 2. If you talk about the essay, this should range between 200 words to 300 words. If you talk about the SST, that counts numbers here in the writing exam. In SST, we should write up to 70 words maximum, and number of full stops can be how many you want to add. So it is what known as the formal structure. The common error is when the person keeps writing an exam, if they are not known to, if they forget the number of words that those have been are required to be written by the person, that means that you are going to lose the marks out of it. 3 questions are at the stake because of the numbers. Essay lesser than 200, 0. SST more than 70, 0. If it is SWT with the 2 full stop, that is 0. 75 words over, it is 0. And SST lesser than 60, it is 0. The Pearson marking criteria says 50 to 70, but the real exam judges you when you cross 60 marks, 60 words mark. So these formal structure is one of the biggest challenge for the students, and they should remember this thing while writing in the examination room. Number 6, the third one is, the third most important thing that a person must in mind is the content, and the PTE AI is very, very touchy about. What is the content? Content means that something that is really relevant to the what is asked by. For an example, if you talk about the SWTs, the dates are very important. The names are very important. The year are very important. The event is very important. But the name of the person is not important. If you are going to write the name of the person, you are going to lose one number because of the spelling problem. Uncommon names always lose one number. And familiar famous names like London, USA can give you a number, but the name like Zeeshan will give you -1. What is the reason? Because software will definitely put you into a spelling error because of the unfamiliar words. So we should not use the uncommon names. We should not use the uncommon words in the PTE writing exam. So content would be very important. Content means that whatsoever you write, it must be in resemblance with the topic that has been asked by the examiner. For an example, if the topic is about the government investment in art, painting, history, your write-up should repeat and stick to the art, music, and painting. Repeat these words over and on again in your essay to give the examiner this sense that you are upon the topic and you're surrounding the topic, or you are around the topic, you are carrying topic in your hand in the whole essay writing. So content is another marking base. So if I talk about the PTE skills needed by the students to take good score, is the grammatic range and accuracy, sentence structure, tenses, spelling, vocabulary, synonym, antonyms, and the condition words, coherence, cohesion, task response, and the formal structure along with the content. This would be all will be very important for you people if you want to have the good score in your PTE writing exam. So I will be available for the questions now. And if there is any question, I would be very happy to answer the questions.